Hey everyone, how we doing? It's Saturday night here. Thought I'd make a little crypto update with the monthly and weekly candles set to close by tomorrow afternoon, at least in my time tomorrow afternoon. So 20 hours from now, as you can see, we do have some interesting price action here and a couple scenarios that we should go over here because those candle closes could be important. So as you can see, we're here on the crypto total market cap on the daily chart. We are at a point right now where we are at resistance. We have had, a little bit of a minor, but still good to see how we've had a little sweep here and, had a bit of a displacement move up. Doesn't mean that we're going to clear this fair value gap and go higher. We could, but we also could reject from here and go lower to take out lows here, and maybe even into this box. That would be a pretty aggressive fall, though, for total market cap. On the USDT dominance here, remember this is inverse. We're at support here, so fair value gap here. Right after again, we've swept to the highs here. So, there is potential for this to, go down lower. We'd have to clear this gap and then this candle. And if we do that, then it looks like it's a pretty good sign that we're heading lower as well. But this could easily reject from here and go higher, sweeping highs here, maybe into the fair value gap. Who knows? It cross that bridge if and when it comes. So, we'll see there. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to drop here, which, kind of tells me that there's a chance that we're, not exactly bottomed on Bitcoin. Like there is a chance that we go a little bit lower, but it doesn't have to be the case. It's just this is my understanding here of the market. Bitcoin is a little bit more interesting here because we have had this. We are again in this bearish fair value gap right here, where we're above yesterday's high, and we are in this area where theoretically it could reject here and continue going lower, and that's not necessarily the best thing, obviously, because I think if we do come into this level, like I said, unless we get a really aggressive move similar to here, this would be a little bit of a different scenario. If we get a move where we go up like this and then like a huge bearish candle and immediately bought up, then I think there's a chance, that this could continue going higher and then the top is not in. But I'm not exactly sure on that. We'll have to cross that bridge when it comes as well and see what happens if Bitcoin gets down to that level. What is interesting is on the weekly here, we have some work to do, but if we could, from a structure perspective, if we could close above this weekly low. So again, on the daily, it's not that big of a task. You just have to get up to this level. If we could close above, 110, 500, let's say, obviously the higher the better, but then this will just end up looking like a wick down below. So then it's like you sweep previous week's low and close above in that range of the candle. If that's the case, I think that, the targets, more immediate targets, would be the weekly high. And then from there, the question would be, do we, just come in, sweep this and then go lower, or do we actually close above here and start going back up, right? My thoughts right now are that, Bitcoin is being outperformed by Ethereum and the altcoin market, but it's not like a rocket, if that makes sense, like it doesn't feel to me that either the bottom is in on Bitcoin or that we're in altcoin season yet, because generally, when we see the bottom for everything, that's when altcoins will start to really like rocket, like they'll recover way harder. So seeing, like Bitcoin dominance just kind of falling like that is not as big of a deal, but it could also sweep the low, or not sweep, sorry. It could go lower than the low and close significantly below and continue falling at a more rapid rate. And if that's the case, then I would expect alts to push higher, Ethereum to push higher as well. We have Total 2 as well, which we went over in the last video, and it has not taken out its all-time high, which again is a bullish sign for me. So whether or not Bitcoin has topped at 124,000, that remains to be seen. I don't think I could know at this level yet. If Bitcoin aggressively starts to move up and the Bitcoin dominance also moves up because Bitcoin is leading the way, then I actually think that we're gonna make new highs on Bitcoin, because then that wouldn't be altcoin season, which is traditionally the end of the cycle. So if Bitcoin, again, just to repeat myself, if this starts going on a run, whether or not we liquidate these lows first and go here, or just start going up from here, whether or not that happens, if this starts going up aggressively and alts are lagging behind, I think that we're going higher than this. But if we, all of a sudden start ranging and alts start really pushing up harder as Bitcoin just ranges and grinds and ranges and grinds, then I think that it's more likely, again, as I stated in the last video, that this is the top, or else we're just getting a sweep of this high, right? And to liquidate short positions and then going lower, right? Kind of similar to how we done here, or, the last top where we, basically just swept it twice and then we're done. So we'll see what happens when we get the proper reaction. But right now, I either don't think that the top is in for Bitcoin or that the bottom's in. I guess that's not really too helpful at this point, but I guess it's just a moment of indecision right now where we have to breathe a little bit and let the market do its thing. Ideally, I don't want to spend too much time, down here, because that's really showing that we're kind of like breaking structure, at least on the daily, significantly, with a bunch of closes below. Weekly, like, we're still making, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs. Like, we're not bearish yet. We haven't even closed below this weekly candle, the big bullish weekly candle that we've had. So all's not lost at all. Like I said, I would like to see Bitcoin close again below this, or close above this weekly low from the previous week. That would indicate, obviously, that there's a potential for a sweep and then reversal. So that's what my eye's on right now. I don't think we're going to go over any altcoin charts today. It's just a quick little update here because, I want to really, we got to focus on Bitcoin here. That's gonna show us what's happening with everything. Like I said, USDT, we are at support. We're at resistance for Bitcoin. We're at resistance for total market cap. Ethereum, probably, if I'm guessing. Actually, Ethereum looks a little bit better because there's technically a very minor fair value gap in here, but yeah, I mean, that's almost not even noticeable. Ethereum is looking better, so that's interesting too. Like I said, regardless of whether or not the top for Bitcoin is in or not, I don't think the top for Ethereum and altcoins is in by any means. I really expect them to outperform. We've also had some tokens, like I believe CRO is the Crypto.com coin is, that's really exploded, right? This is like a taste of what can happen during altcoin season, where within a couple of days you spike and you get 150% in 3 days, right? Another coin that I used to hold and then sold it in November is Pyth Network, and that had a huge pump as well, right? In one day it just went 100% in a day, right? So this is something that usually happens during altcoin season. So I don't think the top is in for Ethereum or altcoins, even if it is for Bitcoin. As we pointed out last video, lots of liquidity left behind, and I still think we would even come and make a new all-time high on altcoins. At least get up to this level, but I still think an all-time high for altcoins would be happening. So for now, like I said, Bitcoin's the main focus, right? We got to reevaluate. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow or either the next day after the weekly and monthly candle closes and see where we are, and then we can go over a few other things. So, all right, guys, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Please like the video, and we'll see you next time. Peace.